The Saints getting Derek Carr. This was interesting here. Do you know how much they're giving him?
4 years, 150.
4 years, 150.
Which is what, more money than? Is it?
The what? More money than who?
Is it more money than
Geno?
No, Lamar?
No, Lamar's contract was larger than that.
Okay.
On a year.
Like Lamar Jackson's going to get 30-something million this year, but I think it averages out to 37. But Derek Carr is going to be getting $37.5 million a year for 4 years.
Yes.
God bless him.
Yeah.
They'll be good enough to be the best in that division, maybe.
Right.
I mean, you think about the quarterbacks.
Exactly.
I mean, I can't name the starting quarterback for any of the other teams.
Right.
Honestly, I don't think they have a starting quarterback. So the Saints win the division because they have a quarterback. Nobody else has one.
Yeah. It's very similar to this division just this past year. It was like Tampa was just kind of like by default.
It's like, yeah, well, you got Tom Brady. Even though we have a losing record, we'll go.
Yeah.
But, I mean, now yes, they signed him, but how does a team that's $55 million over the cap afford to pay a quarterback $37.5 million? They have right now, and they've done this the last 2 years, 25% of their salary cap is going to players that are not even on the roster anymore. Like, I don't know how the Saints do it. So they're going to have to get rid of people. You're going to get rid of Stubby Toes Thomas because he hasn't played in like 3 years. He always breaks a toe or a foot or something. Alvin Kamara, he's in trouble from smacking somebody, isn't he? Didn't he smack somebody?
Yep.
Hit somebody, so he's in trouble. So it's like, what? I don't know. So yes, by default, but are they a player in the NFC by getting David Carr? Are they really? Like they're not better than Minnesota. They're not better than the Cowboys. They're not better than the San Francisco or even the Seahawks or hell. I think Arizona's better than them. The Rams, if Stafford doesn't have a noodle arm, maybe. But then in the NFC East, you got Philly and the Cowboys and the Giants all made the playoffs last year.
Yep.
So are they better than all them? No, you're going to take the spot of the Bucks last year and get beat.
Yep.
And it's going to cost you $37.5 million. And they'll do it for a couple years, and you'll be none the better. So cool. I'm glad he got his money, though.
Yeah, it is good for him, but I don't really have much. You've pretty much summed it all up right there. But Shaq, Nestor, you guys have any thoughts on Derek Carr landing in New Orleans?
I just feel like it's just good enough to get them into barely the postseason and going home. But that's about it. Anything other than that, don't expect too much more from them. But the man is just trying to make sure he gets his last couple of dollars before he decides to retire. So.
Nestor?
This is why I feel like I would like to see another team in that division pick up a quarterback and solve their quarterback issue.
Man, they have to.
I don't see Atlanta. Atlanta just doesn't have, in my opinion, an offensive scheme
or team.
Like they don't know how to use a really good tight end that they have. They don't know Pitts. They don't know how to use him. They just suck. When you look at their record last season, I mean, it was just trash. So I like to see Carolina pick up a good QB and see how that plays out. Derek Carr, it's still not a sure thing. Like, especially like Malin said, there's so many other better teams. Like, let's not forget Derek Carr had a pretty high amount of interceptions last season. So this could still not work the way the Saints want it to work. So it'll be interesting to see.
Does anyone think that Derek Carr is going to a team with better talent on offense than the Raiders had?
No.
I mean, they had the rushing champion, Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, Renfro. They had Waller. Like that was pretty stacked.
Yeah.
Saints don't have that.
Right.
I mean, now what this division is going to end up being is like Derek Carr, Sam Darnold, Andy Dalton, and like Baker Mayfield are going to be quarterbacking these teams. They're going to find somebody. Andy Dalton's probably going to go to Carolina. I would love to see Baker Mayfield in Tampa. I would. God, it would just be the greatest gift that I could
The
get.
most
this
comical
football
shit in
season.
the world.
How many
I
white
would-
girls in St. Pete with Baker Mayfield?
Well,
Bucks
there'd
jerseys?
be a lot of white girls impregnated by Baker Mayfield, probably. But happy International Women's
I
Day.
mean, he living in a
Um,
stadium, so he might as well just house all of them. So
Probably. So
This is going south really quick.
it's been going south. I don't know what you're.
he's a man of the woman, so it's all
That's
right.
low roll.
Okay.
Isn't he married?
That's
Pretty
he,
sure
he is married.
Yeah, he is. Married. Okay, that's fine. St. Pete can sell out babies.
Shaq said he's a man of the woman.
Like Shaq's not a man of the world.
Oxymoron.
Shaq gets text messages all the time.
Real recognize real. Be honest.
Moving on to the next. Let's talk about the Daniel Jones thing real quick. So the Giants did extend him 4 years, $82 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
That seemed fast. It was like, all right, what are we thinking on Daniel Jones? And we're sold.
It's like
Then and there.
it's 82 million guaranteed, but isn't it like 165 million?
Up to.
Up to 165, but he's getting 82 million guaranteed.
Right.
It's like they were like, you know what? Let's just throw a bunch of money at him because we want to franchise Saquon. Because that's what they did.
Yeah.
They franchised him. And I'm like, y'all paying a lot of money for 15 touchdowns. That's, I mean, at the end of the day, you paid him $82 million guaranteed because he didn't fumble the ball as much. Because his other stats were not that much different from years past. His completion percentage was up, I think, 6 or 7 points. But his turnovers were way down. But he only threw 15 touchdowns.
15 and 5 interceptions.
Yeah. I mean, when you, I mean, listen, let's just,
This is amazing.
I mean, you're paying him $5.4 million for every
For every
touchdown that he threw last year. I didn't watch the Giants a lot, but I don't think I watched a single one of his touchdowns and thought that was worth $5 million. That's a lot of money. So, Vanilla Vic gets his money. It's astronomical what he got. The fact that they were like, no, he's not going to get anything close to $45 million. He damn near got there.
Yeah.
I think he's in the 38 to 40 range, isn't he? He's got 35 in incentives.
35 incentives. almost 94 of it is guaranteed at signing. That's nuts. He'll make damn near $100 million like that.
All because he went to a Manning football camp and he looks like Eli Manning. That's the only reason why he's in the NFL.
Horseface Manning.
Okay, first of all, it used to be Horseface Elway, but I guess Horseface Manning works.
I mean, is it not accurate?
A little bit. Shout out to his mom, though, International Women's Day. Good job making that horse face.
Lamar needs to go hire Daniel Jones as agent.
Pushing out the
Whoever-
long bit.
Yeah, whoever that. But that's why you have an agent. Though.
Right. That's how you get these kinds of deals done.
Because you can't roll over a bunch of agents in the NFL because they went around and fucked around with Daniel Jones. The agent will be like, well, I got like 90 other players that you might want to sign later on down the road, and not going to happen now.
Yep.
But yeah, $160 million. 82
paid.
guaranteed. Getting paid the same amount, more guarantees than David Carr.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr.
Yeah.
David Carr was his brother. Sorry. That is just how.
Good for him. But hey, Daniel, can I borrow a couple dollars from you, my man?
Yeah, hey, another person led the league in completion percentage, and he signed a contract too.
Geno Smith getting
Not
paid
that much money though.
3 years, $105 million extension. Mainly, what do you think about your team bringing them back in?
I love the deal. Okay. Because you break it down, 3 years, 105 million. You're like, wow, okay, you're paying like almost over 30 something $1 million a year. But I don't know how the Seahawks did this. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they were doing shots or what. But this man agreed to his base salary is $25 million. $25 million. He gets $40 million guaranteed when he signs it, but he has over $30 million wrapped up in incentives. So, at the end of the day, Seattle has like a 2-year contract with him. They can cut ties after 30 years.
Yeah.
This does not stop them from drafting somebody at number 5 if they really want to. If they really want a quarterback. It doesn't stop them from doing it. But listen, if Geno Smith ends up earning that $30 million in incentives, that means my Seahawks are playing very well.
That is true.
And if not, $25 million is less than what the San Francisco 49ers paid Jimmy Garoppolo last year. That's not a bad deal.
Yeah.
And he's making more money than he has in his entire career because up until then, he'd only made $17 million.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for the story of Geno Smith. He needs to play better for a full 17 games. Had a really good first half, struggled in the second half, but there were some offensive line issues. Our starting running back wasn't healthy.
That's right.
But, all in all, I think it's the best scenario for both people. He's 32 years old, and he has potential to make $100 million. And he was like 1 foot out the door of the league.
Right.
So I'm happy with it.
Yeah. Shaq, any thoughts on this?
I feel like he's well deserving of his money. Like you said, it all depends on if he can keep a consistent year this time around. Because, like you said, he was good enough to get me my bubble win, but it depends on whether he
Nestor.
That's what I'm saying.
Didn't Geno have like a 69-ish% like completion rate?
Yeah,
last season?
69.8. It was number 1 in the league.
That's yeah. So he's
Throwing
really
them
well
darts.
deserving of that.
It was over 70% the entire year until the last game. And it hit .2 under.
But yeah, Curl said that he's still, I guess, like committed to, that 5th pick. So that'll be interesting to see who they can pick up and what happens, how the season turns out for Geno and what happens with that 5th pick. That will be really interesting.
It is going to be a crazy draft show.
Yes.